All right, so I attended the ACL concert, Austin City Limits Music Festival, for the Friday, October 3rd date, where the headliners included Luke Combs, Empire of the Sun, Hozier, Cage the Elephant, and a lot more. This was my first experience at a music festival, and overall, I'd say it was a really big success. I really enjoyed my time there. I took the day off from work, took some PTO, got to sleep in, get there pretty early for the day, and then got to see some really great artists. But I want to take you through my experience, what I liked, what I didn't like, things that I think next time would be nice to know if you're like a first time goer like me, and kind of just share that experience and hope that you can get something out of it and look forward to it like I'll look forward to it next year. So, starting off, I just want to say I think they did an excellent job. I thought the for being a first time music festival goer, I wasn't really sure how crazy it would get. And at the beginning of it, like I thought it's in terms of time management, it was pretty good for the whole entire day. Everything was very spread out, so it's not like you could really overhear other venues going on. I think the biggest ones and stages at the show were probably T-Mobile and definitely American Express. But then they also had some really big artists go to like the Miller Lite stage, and for the most part, like when it came to the stages and the layout, I really liked it. It was really easy to get around and kind of figure your way out. But I thought they did a really good job of that. When you walk in, I ended up going in around 2 p.m. The event had already started, and you were allowed to go in for noon. And I think the first artist came on maybe around like 1:30 or 2 p.m. But the first person I ended up seeing was, I believe his name was Tyler Ursulay, who was a country singer at the American Express stage. I thought his concert was really good. That was my first real showing of ACL, and when I was there was not that many people there. And I guess that's expected. It's a Friday. It was still like maybe 2 or 3 p.m., so not really many people there. It was very, very hot though, and it was, I guess, the staff had worked it before, but they were really nice because they were giving out bottles of boxed water to people. They were spraying people with water, and again, there were not that many people there, so it was kind of nice to just get that little treatment. So that was really nice and very much appreciated. Going back to actually how I got in, I did want to just quickly say that if you do plan on going, note that you can get in a little bit quicker than everybody else if you do not bring a bag. If you go through the non-bag line, it's basically a lot quicker. It's almost like if you think about like single riders for like an amusement park ride. It's basically the same thing. So it would just get you a little bit faster. Not as fast as the VIP lane to get in, but pretty quickly. So I think I would remember that for next time. The second thing I would remember for next time is to bring a cup or bring my own water bottle because they had hydration stations there, which was really nice. What wasn't nice was that they didn't provide you with any cups. So when I went up to go to get water at the hydration station, and I was like, "Can I have a cup?" They were like, "No, we don't have any." And this was still like 2 p.m. first day of the event on a Friday. They didn't have any cups to give to people. Like, how are you supposed to get to the hydration station if you want water? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. But ended up having to buy a margarita. Ended up having to. I bought a margarita, frozen one, which, by the way, it was so hot that the machines weren't working, and it was the frozen margaritas were literally just liquid. So I was like, whatever, I'll just buy the cup. Basically, still drank the margarita. It was still pretty solid for $20, but definitely was a smart choice to buy something that gave you a cup in it. I think if I had to do the same thing again, I would have probably bought the lemonade vodka drink that the sparkling lemonade vodka drink, because it was only like $15 and they still gave you a cup. So you would have saved like $5. But other than that, the only other thing that I was thinking about in terms of drinks was that the drinks were very expensive. Anything that they had, even like even though there were 24-ounce Miller Lights that they had available, they were still $18. That's with the taxes. So it was still a pretty expensive drink to buy. Definitely note to maybe pregame a little bit before you go, just so you can get a little buzz going. But I think next time I would probably buy the 4 pack if I was willing to really be on that budget. Oh, actually, I take that back because it was so hot. It would have gone like you wouldn't have been able to drink them because it would have just made them disgusting, like heated beer. So actually, don't do that. But luckily, it is noteworthy to note the at least to the middle of the basically until maybe like 6, and probably not even really after when it came to like maybe 7:30 or 8, like the drink lines were kind of crowded, but honestly not even really. So it was pretty easy to go get drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic, throughout the entire place, especially even when it was packed, like it was still pretty easy. There were so many places around. It was basically like everywhere you looked that you could easily find a place to get a drink. But then when it came to food, that was like kind of harder to find. You had to kind of like weave your way in between like these stages and past these tents. Not a very good job of locating like where the food was, or like signage for that. So that's something to note as well. But the other thing that I thought was something that I would do next time is like bring my own bandana, instead of like having like a cloth given to me that was wet. Like bring your own, wet it yourself. Maybe look a little bit more like maybe look a little more fashionable. I don't know, but I think I would do that next time as well. It was nice too because it was so hot. Like not only could it like cool your head when it was wet, but it would like keep your neck from getting sunburned. So I thought that would have been a nice thing to do. But yeah, definitely bring your own cup, bring a bandana, and don't bring a backpack because I think it'll be easier to get in. But other than that, like in terms of the shows and the artists that were playing, like they did a really good job overall. I was very impressed with the performers that they had. One of my favorites that I didn't really know before was Briscoe, who played at at the Ladybird stage. That is, they didn't draw like a huge crowd, but they were cool because the main guy played like the saxophone in one song, he was playing the banjo in another. He was just a really cool dude, and he was really good at the music they were playing. It was more like folk. I want to say it was like folk pop or something. I don't know, but it was pretty solid, and they did a good performance, and it was a good watch. And that was like literally maybe 30 minutes before the Cage the Elephant went on. That was one of my favorite performances, other than Cage the Elephant and Luke Combs, but that was at maybe like 6. And the nice thing, I was able to, like, because it was so hot, there weren't that many places to sit in the shade. So you would have to either like go into a tent that had food and order food or something, or find like a shady spot under the tree with other people. But that was like a big thing for me, was like finding shade, because you could not stand in the heat that long. Like it was so incredibly hot that you needed to take time to sit, to get in the shade, like cool down. Like that was a big part of the festival experience, I think. And I think it really helped me a lot by like help me stay cool throughout the event. But that is one thing I would remember for next year, is if it's still there. The Ladybird stage had great shade around like the 5 p.m. to the 6 p.m. showing. A lot of space to sit, kept you cool, got a nice show. I really enjoyed that. That's something to note for next time too. But yeah, for the ticket price of $170 for a 1 day pass, I thought it was pretty worth it given the artists that were there. I mean, Luke Combs, I think, regularly sells his tickets for somewhere in the 100 to 120 range. So if you were just going to see him and then paying like an extra, basically an extra $50 to see Cage the Elephant or Empire by the Sun, and getting all these other small artists involved too, I think is a really good deal. So I really like for band per ticket cost, I guess. I don't know what that would be, but it would be at least like $26 per hour. I guess that makes sense. Anyways, I thought the artists were really good. I really enjoyed my time there. And I think one of the best spots that was kind of nice was that because there were like hours in between each set that you could be able to find enough time to, if you really wanted to see whoever you wanted, to make your way to the stage, find a spot you liked, and then watch the show. So I felt like I got a great spot for Cage the Elephant. It was right off the left side, kind of near the. It was really right near the premium seating for people. Right in that area, it was. I mean, for general admission, it was pretty good. It was a pretty really good spot, honestly. You could see the whole stage, you could see everything that was going on. Super nice, especially for the Cage the Elephant concert. For the Luke Combs portion, the only thing I would say, which sounds really stupid, is for some reason they had like there were so many tall people there. I don't know if it's a Luke Combs like fandom thing that like the average fan is like over 6 foot or something, but me being like under 5 foot, it was kind of hard to see his performance even from like the exact same spot I was in for Cage the Elephant. There were just more tall people, and yeah, that was kind of funny in my opinion. But he still had a great show. I really enjoyed his performance. I think the last thing I would say in terms of the experience would be the cinematography of the like on-screen like performance live feed of them like up close with the camera work. The camera work alone was phenomenal. They all did a great job. They made the experience probably 10 times better than anything I've ever seen. Like, they were great. It felt like they probably had something scripted, arrangement that they had wanted for the show prior, but I thought the cinematography and the layout and the execution of the videography was phenomenal for every performance that I saw, especially for Cage the Elephant. Like that was one of the best things that I didn't even think about that would be like something that would be cool was just putting like them on the big screen and getting their performance on there and getting the shots. Like the drone footage was crazy. The close-ups, like just the way they arranged it, super well done. That alone made the experience, I think, a lot better. Overall, very much enjoyed my experience. I would honestly go again, and I would even maybe go for a Saturday performance too next year. But I don't know. I would definitely go again, and I really enjoyed it. So that was my experience. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.